It's 11:11 as I start this. If this video finds you, expect a wish to come true. Let's talk about the process of this. And may those of you that chose this video and clicked on it, may you find yourself perfectly in the mix. Is this 3 cards? Yes, it is. I love when my spirit team is rolling with me. We needed 3 cards: shadow, attribute, or the primitive energy. The center represents adaptive energy when we realize what the primitive is doing to harm us. And this represents the evolved energy once we realize the primitive energy, begin to adapt, and then we evolve into our highest form. Let's go ahead and explore what this wish granted has to do with the lesson learned, if you will. I'm pretty excited to get into this, but it feels steady, realistic, promising, solid, because it feels real, realistic, logical. That's why it feels so promising. We have 20 opening up here, the shadow attribute of Mercury. Mercury. This shadow attribute refers to one who thinks that they know better and that everything that you say should be adhered to, no matter the cost. As well as in the primitive energy, the shadow attributes, the mind flickers about, irritated, never landing anywhere for very long, speaking erratically, impulsively, or brashly, and listening inconsistently. This is the shadow. Let's talk about how it's evolved us, represented by the number 1, sun, moon. This is the adaptive energy, what we've learned once we recognize the shadow. We have others can depend on your integrity because you are yourself inside and out. You come from a place where yin and yang are experienced and expressed in balance. You use your experience of polarity to find a third way, one that combines the best of 2 extremes. So the extreme in this Mercury energy was thinking that we know all, we know best, nothing else, there's nothing left. This also left us feeling empty, confused, nothing to land on. But now we are recognizing the value of polarity, to combine the extreme of not being able to settle on something and evolving with that energy into the number 3, which is represented by Sun, Venus. And it says the tension you feel between self-focus and the need for harmony in the world leads you to teach the art of balance to others. You inspire folks to believe that decentralizing the self in favor of honoring the beauty of all of life will lead to fulfillment. Relationships with Earth and all living things are your life practice. You exude and exemplify a sense of self that is interconnected and in balance with life itself. To round it all, 47, Jupiter, Uranus. This is referring to knowing that your truth is valid and real, but it can also be balanced with another's truth that can also be valid and real. In the primitive energy, this talks about you and your own mind thinking that you are the emperor, empress of all things, and you expect everyone to see your genius. In the evolved energy, it talks about you being the ultimate teacher of a positive reality in which all people participate equally and feel emboldened to express themselves creatively. It goes on to also read that you are both lucky and abundant. You bestow everyone you meet with a sense of possibility and permission to be their complete self. So before, you may have been in this overshadowing or overpowering energy where it felt like it was my way or the highway. Now you're realizing that that too can be true, while also others can believe this as well. And in some cases, there is a beautiful combined effort of the two, knowing that you are right, knowing that they are right, and finding the balance, the compromise in that. You have a wish coming true because of the balance and the compromise in the truth that you are right and someone or something else is also right and or accurate and or true. Also, because you decided to land on something. That flittering energy that this Mercury card was referring to in the shadow attribute is what seems to be leading to the completion here, the grounding of this, because we finally found something to land on. And as I keep saying something to land on, I keep being shown a dragonfly, and I'm thinking of how they land on the surface of the water without even really disturbing or breaking the water's surface. Let's further expand into this, please. The wish coming true. We have justice clarifying Mercury, Mercury. We have the King of Swords clarifying the Sun, Moon. And we have the Four of Swords clarifying Sun, Venus. Bottom of the deck is Two of Cups that has remained. However, I want to get new bottom of the deck energy because that's what we started with. But I did also see the Queen of Swords. So I'm looking at the King and Queen of Swords with the Two of Cups. So this is about collaboration, collaborative minds, two people that can see eye to eye. Bada boom, bada bada bam. Look at that. What do you see? The lovers, the collaborative minds, that King and Queen of Swords, represented here from the Two of Cups, now transformed into the lovers. Back of the deck is the King of Pentacles. There is a collaboration or a forming of a group of many or one or some or few, and you are focused on the gold. You are focused on the impact. You are focused on the range. And this is why it will go far. Anything else to add here? Eight of Swords, Four of Swords, Seven of Cups. I see you taking a break from something that had you wound up here, which is opening up your mind, opening up your brain, opening up the imagination, and bringing something in for you. This might be a double win as well, a double whammy. And also helping you to avoid something that you couldn't see would get in the way eventually. You've got a promising startup or a fire up, and the lovers just revealed the King of Wands right behind, as well as the Ace of Pentacles. Exactly, some sort of well controlled motion or well thought out plan because you landed on it. You landed on something. You weeded out the bullshiz, which lets me know that you also saw past some sort of smoke and mirrors, which is only done through that energy control represented by the King of Wands. in the lover's energy. This could be a situation where you found yourself having to be the one in control, having to be the one to set the pace, having to be the one to set the tone. And because you did this, you are getting the team to victory. Solar plexus energy. Cleanse your solar plexus and your sacral. Two cards from here. Ace of Swords, Ten of Swords, Five of Cups, Four of Cups. Exactly. I was talking about the Seven of Cups to the Three of Cups when I said you were weeding through the bullshit. Four of Cups. You saw it for what it is. But I only wanted one other card. So accompany the Ace of Swords with what? That's that clarity found. And this card here is in the reverse, the moon. Wow. Bottom of the deck, the 10 wands. You saw through the burden. You saw the truth of the burden. You saw the truth of the matter. You're seeing the truth of the matter. You saw the truth of the burden. There's something that you cannot be confused or abused by any longer. And so, for that reason, a wish is granted.